Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good day, evening, or night. Today I have 5 outings to cover, so let's not waste time and get straight into it. On the evening of May 14th, my grandma was in town, and we didn't have much going on, so we decided to go out to New Century to see if the New Century local was there and to get DLSR pictures of the 2 JCAX switchers. We would get to the spot where the local ties down occasionally, and it was there. Unfortunately, it had the boring GP39-2 duo on it, but one piece of rolling stock made up for it. Right next to the usual Santa Fe caboose, used as a shoving platform, was a Rock Island bankruptcy blue hopper. We would then head down to where the JCAX duo usually is, and they were there. I would walk back to the car, and my grandma would suggest going out by the transcon to see if there was any action, so we headed down to the transcon. It wouldn't be long before we'd hear the crossing go off, and see an intermodal approaching. And on the intermodal was one of UP's few large shield aces, which has seen better days. It wouldn't take that long before a hopper train would show up with a solid H2 set on the front and the back. After that, we would head home. 2 days later, on the evening of the 16th, me and my friend would head out to our usual spot to see if we could catch anything interesting. Upon making it to the bridge, we would see a train parked on the outbound track at the intermodal, and would rush down to the spot just in time to catch it leaving with a KCS Jivo and a Thundercab Ace. The next train to show up would be a manifest with a 4700 Series -9 trailing second. After the DPU cleared, we would wait a little bit before we would hear the horn of an eastbound. Then we would see the lights of a westbound down the line. Then I saw a black, yellow, and faded red on the lead unit of the westbound. But fortunately, the westbound would beat the eastbound to us, and the eastbound had an ace in the lead along with a friendly crew. If you saw the last clip, you could tell there was a DPU, and it was a CPKC AC-44. Oh well. We would then head home, but we would stop at the bridge because another train was coming, and it had an ace leading. 5 days later, on the 21st, after getting out of school for the summer, I decided to bike down to the intermodal to see if anything was there, and immediately upon arriving, the ITSX SD4-2 Duo would start moving to switch cars. I decided to stick around because I hadn't seen the Duo moving yet, and that would end up being a really good decision. I would then call my friend and tell him what was going on, and right as he arrived, I would hear the horn of westbound pulling into the intermodal. As it got closer, I thought I could see what looked like to be faded Pullman green now turned black on the back 2 units. The first 3 units would be nothing special, but the last 2 units were H1-9s back to back. This was my first time seeing a duo like this since August of 2024. The two SD40s would then resume switching after that and wouldn't be visible until about an hour after they started switching. The duo would finish up their duties before being parked on the Bare Tables track. We would then head home after that. 2 days later, on the 23rd, I would head out to the Intermodal solo again to get out of the house, and I would get to see a little bit of action in the form of two Gevos moving around the yard. Besides that, nothing much happened, so here's all the footage. Two days later again, on the 25th, me and my friend would head out to the Intermodal, then later the wetlands, to try and see if we could catch anything neat. Upon arriving at the Intermodal, we'd be met with two Gevos moving around the eastern end of the facility with a really friendly crew, like the most friendly crew I've ever seen. After that, we would head down to the wetlands where we would see tons of trains with not much to be said about any of them. Later that night, we would head down to the other spot and see one train with the only thing of note being a -9.